Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. This is Harlequin Intuitive, back with another pick a card reading. Today's reading is going to be an I-ching Taoist reading using the I-ching deck only. So this is the I-ching, the Book of Changes, and this is just going to be a general all-purpose reading for any inquiry that you may have or just general messages that want to come through. So for today's pick a card, we have the white feather for group number 1. Group number 2 is this black and white feather. I think this is like a pigeon or something. And group number 3 is this blue feather that is actually a really cool colored blue. And it's a lot cooler in real life. And yeah, this is from the blue diademed mot. This is a local bird that I see frequently. So once you have chosen which one resonates with you the most, it could be just one or it could be multiple, go ahead and click on the timestamps below and I will meet you at your reading. So first we're going to just pick the cards. Okay, so for group number 1, please, what is the message that they need to know right now? What is the Taoist message that would like to come through for them at this time? Please and thank you for their highest good. Wow, well that one kind of popped out. Please and thank you. That's group 1. For group 2, please. What messages would like to come through regarding their inquiry or any general messages that they need to know at this time? Okay. And for group number 3, please. What messages would like to come through from their higher self? Anything that they need to know at this time related to their inquiry or any general messages that would like to come through, please and thank you. Okay. All right, so we're going to be starting with group number 1 then. Hi group 1, if you chose the white feather, this is going to be your Taoist reading. Let's go ahead and see. This was the one that flew out, right? Okay. So I'm still learning these. I really want to learn them by heart, but there's just so many of them. If you haven't seen my video on how to read the I-ching, we're using hexagrams that have different meanings to them, so it's quite different than normal tarot, but it's pretty cool. So yeah. Okay, so the first card we got is Earth Above Heaven, Peace. Heaven and earth unite, a peaceful paradise. In winter, peace is found through rest. In spring, peace is found through action. Heaven influences earth through the cycle of seasons, and all living things prosper by harmonizing with them. Thus the wise person finds peace in finding heaven within his or her own earthly being. So following that, we have lake above water. Lake above water. Water abandons the lake, spiritual exhaustion. Water has drained away from the lake, leaving it dry and barren. In human life, character is proven in times of adversity, when it seems like all joy has drained from life. Maintaining hope and good cheer under hard circumstances can bring exhaustion of spirit. When fate is unkind, care must be taken to replenish what has been used up. One must remain true to oneself. Interesting. So we started off with peace, earth above heaven, about finding inner peace, and then we end up with exhaustion, lake above water. Water abandons a lake. So what I'm getting is that there's something that's draining your peace right now, or you're in the process of your peace being drained, that you have found you've managed to find some kind of peaceful situation that you can rely on from within yourself. But whatever situation you're currently in, moving forward, you're going to find that your peace is drained. So it's better for you to find a way to replenish this peace. And I don't know, like it's saying that you're being drained, quite literally. So let's see if there's any advice from the tarot for you moving forward. Any advice for group number 1, please? It's interesting to me how this card flew out. It's number 11. So if that makes sense to you, like if you're into numbers and you've been seeing numbers or something and you saw number 11, it could be like a sign. But this card is about maintaining the peace or keeping a peace within yourself. And as it's moving forward, seeing that you're being exhausted spiritually, I feel like it's what they're trying to say. It's like it's very important for you right now to keep the peace, or at least your own inner peace. So is there any advice that wants to come through for group number 1, please? The Hermit. Oh, wow. Yeah. This makes a lot of sense to me. Like the cards are encouraging you to retreat within your own sacred space, whatever that might mean to you. It's very important for you right now to withdraw and to replenish your own energy, because there is something that is taking your peace away, and it's going to be a challenge for you if you don't take some time out to replenish. So whatever your inquiry was, or whatever situation you're in right now, I feel like this is just the main theme for you, to just find a way to replenish your peace. So I'm going to leave this reading at that. Like I said, it was going to be kind of a short, quick energy update. So I hope it was helpful for you. I hope that you can use this advice for whatever situation you're in. And I hope to see you guys again in the future for more readings. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Very interesting, group 1. That was a white feather. Now let's see group number 2. So for group number 2, you guys chose the black and white feather. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the I-ching wants to say for you right now. Okay. So the first card we have is Mountain Above Water, Youthful Folly. Water below mountain, the inexperienced person seeks a teacher. A spring emerges at the foot of the mountain. This landscape will ultimately determine how the water will flow. At present it is directionless. It rushes over the ground, seeking places where it can gather and deepen. Thus the inexperienced person seeks an experienced teacher. The teacher does not seek the student who must approach with humility. Interesting. And that is followed by wind above earth, contemplation. Wind above earth, contemplation brings perspective. On the ground the air is still, but at a height the winds blow. Standing upon a tall tower, one feels the purifying force of the wind. From this high place, contemplation brings perspective and clarity. The potential for spiritual power is fulfilled. Wind above earth. Contemplation brings perspective and clarity. Contemplation by removing yourself. It's interesting to me how it starts off mountain above water, water below mountain, the inexperienced person seeks a teacher, like the image of the water rushing to the foot of the mountain. The landscape determines how the water will flow. That means that the mountain has more power than the water because the water is directionless, seeking guidance. So you're coming from a situation where you're seeking guidance outside of yourself because you're inexperienced or youthful or like the inexperienced person seeks an experienced teacher. The teacher does not seek the student. So it's not the mountain that moves for the water, it's the water that moves for the mountain. So in a way, you're coming from the situation of finding answers somewhere outside of yourself. But then it follows by saying, remove yourself from that. Wind above earth, contemplation brings perspective. Then you rise up above the earth to find contemplation in removing yourself. So standing upon a tall tower, one feels the purifying force of the wind. From this high place, contemplation brings perspective and clarity. The potential for spiritual power is fulfilled. So what I'm getting out of this is that whatever your situation is, I think that there might be some kind of delusion as to what you're seeking out. If you're seeking out something because you feel naive or you feel inexperienced, time is going to show you, or change is going to show you, that actually you have everything you need from within, and that it's just a matter of changing your perspective by moving to a higher place or looking at your situation in a different way. From this perspective, starting out, because the mountain is so immovable, it's something, it represents a force that's like, it's difficult to dominate, it's difficult to conquer. You find yourself in a position of submission to that force. But as you move forward in this situation, or just in general, you're going to see that by removing yourself and kind of lifting yourself above, you'll see like you don't really need it, and it wasn't what you thought it was. So let's just get some advice from the Tarot deck to see if there's any message of advice that wants to come through for your situation. So we have the Knave of Pentacles, and this is traditionally the Page of Pentacles. And I put clothing on this ghastly creature because it was just, crazy. But it's all about exploring the value of the physical potentials of something. It could be money, it could be something financial, but it could be also something like exploring what you value. So I think that what it is that you're placing a value on something, like almost like putting it on a pedestal. And because you're inexperienced in some way, there's something that you're putting on a pedestal. The image of the mountain is very like clear and obvious to me. It's like you feel like you'll never attain it. but understand that the student position or like the novice position is actually a really powerful place to be because things will be revealed to you in their own time. And I feel like it's really just kind of saying like trust the process and allow things to unfold because they might not be what you thought they were, or they might end up developing in a different way than you expected. So yeah, that's the reading for you, group two. Like I said, it was going to be kind of just a short, quick update on your energies. So I hope it was helpful for you, and I hope to see you again in the future for more videos. So talk to you guys later then. Bye. Very interesting group two. Now let's do group three, my secret favorite, because I actually did find this, like, it's just so beautiful. I actually did find this when I was out on a walk. So this is for my real bird yeah, that's been flying around here. So group three, this is going to be your reading. Let's just see what the Book of Changes has to say for you. Oh, sorry, I'm just like, okay, there we go. So we're starting off with number 17. Okay, so Lake Above Thunder. Lake Above Thunder. Thunder, it's called following. So thunder in the middle of the lake, action suspended. People who are coerced into cooperation will ultimately resist. To obtain enthusiastic followers, one must adapt to the prevailing needs of the time. Act thoughtfully and in the proper context. Success is likely if one's actions are worthy, but a following should not be expected until those conditions are met. So it's thunder in the middle of a lake, like suspended. And that is followed by biting through, fire above thunder. Fire above thunder, biting through. Thunder and lightning overcome obstructions. When an undertaking that is making good progress meets an obstacle, one must bite through with vigorous determination. Tentative or timid efforts will not serve. Thunder frightens and lightning illuminates. In the same way, the just application of laws and penalties will deter those who would obstruct the endeavor. Wow. The just application of laws and penalties will deter those who would obstruct the endeavor. Wow, I'm seeing fire and thunder. That's crazy. And then lake above thunder. So it's like the first card, the image is of thunder in the middle of the lake. Thunder representing kind of like the desires of the people or the voice of the people in a lot of ways. And the lake also represents like a social group or society. So it says people who are coerced into cooperation will ultimately resist. To obtain enthusiastic followers, one must adapt to the prevailing needs of the time. So act thoughtfully and in the proper context. I feel like you've been walking on eggshells with a certain situation because there's some kind of limitation that regarding possibly a social group or regarding something that you're involved in, something is sensitive to the conditions. So whatever that might be, it might be a work thing that's like sensitive to some kind of like new change, or a relationship thing where something's not very clear because of some kind of communication limitation or something along the lines of that has forced you to suspend your action or has forced you to kind of like stop pursuing it. Because in order to gain a following or in order to gain energy or kind of like to gain power in a certain situation, you have to adapt yourself to the conditions that you're in. But then with the fighting through of fire over thunder, it's almost like something comes out of nowhere and it's pushing you to overcome any obstructions. So when an undertaking that is making good progress meets an obstacle, one must fight through with vigorous determination. The thunder represents in a way like progress or movement, and the fire is the lightning. So it's interesting to me how it's like thunder in the water of the lake, which is kind of like it has nowhere to go because it's stuck within the limitations of the lake. And then all of a sudden lightning comes out of nowhere to push it forward. So I really feel like there are people who are your allies in this situation, whatever it may be. It's like you have a certain following, or you have a certain group of people that are your allies. They're just waiting for your move. They're just waiting for you to do something next. So the way that this is going to unfold is that you are going to end up pushing through by doubling your effort or doubling your action in a way. Because there's something that has a potential for progress, and it shouldn't be limited by the situation at hand. So I feel like if you're waiting for other people to guide you, or you're waiting for a situation to change out of nowhere, you're going to have to realize that you're the one that has to change the situation by pushing through and kind of like, in a way, like fighting fire with fire, or like kind of, you know, kind of like overdoing it in a way is what I'm getting. Thunder frightens and lightning illuminates. In the same way, the just application of laws and penalties will deter those who would obstruct the endeavor. Tentative or timid efforts will not serve. If there is a limitation of some kind, I feel like it's going to be, you're going to have to like push through it if you want to see progress. So you're possibly in for a conflict, but ultimately it will be successful because you have a good following, or you have a good support system that's going to back you up. So I feel like you might not be aware of your following and how loyal they are, but I think that when you push through and when you make the effort to kind of change things, you'll notice that your following is going to continue to be loyal to you. And so you'll realize that you have a lot more power than you think. So let's just see if there's any advice for group number 3 regarding their situation. Why is this so accurate? The Tower. You are going to have to break through a lot of things if you want to move forward with this. This is going to be really great for you. Because the action is suspended here by the limitation of the lake, the thunder, which is like the willpower of the people, or your own spirit, or your allies and your social group, because that is suspended within the lake and confined, you are going to have to take direct action to tear down the establishments or the social structures that are limiting you at this time. And if that means that everything is destroyed and it causes this huge chaos and things are unstable for a while, then that's what it's going to be. If you don't take this action yourself, it will happen to you. Like if you don't take action to lead your people to where they have to be, or where you believe that you're supposed to be going, some external force is going to come in and collapse everything for you. But this is not going to be an easy situation. So it's better to kind of stay ahead of it and do what you can to move forward and to be authentic, than to wait for some kind of external situation to then end up happening to you and crumbling it, and all from the outside in. So that is the Taoist message for you, Group 3. I hope it is helpful for you, and I hope uh, that you have positive results in this situation. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the future for more videos. Okay, talk to you guys later then. Bye.